So Nero makes 500k per month, and in this video, I'm gonna break down his genius positioning trick to make six figures in a scamming niche, how his 60-minute videos generate six figures on command, and how you can plug his entire system inside your high ticket offer to scale your high ticket offer to six figures in 2026. So let's start off with his positioning and messaging strategy, which is basically one of the best strategy that I've seen. His niche is basically the most scammy niche, which is manifestation, right? In very broad level, he has this, we have the level one, which is basically everyone who wants to manifest, right? Everyone who wants to make millions, which is basically everyone in this space, right? So the TAM is in the millions, right? But then we have at level two the entrepreneurs who wants to make basically millions, who wants to manifest, but the TAM is couple thousand. Like not everyone in this world is an entrepreneur, only a couple thousand, right? And then we have level 3, which is basically entrepreneurs at least 15k to 1 million per month, which is basically a very tiny figure in this vast ocean of businesses, right? So only few entrepreneurs are making 1 million per month, and only a couple thousand people are making 15k per month, right? So most people are broke, most people are like kind of stuck in college, stuck in a job, and they are kind of stuck in that 9 to 5 cycle. And this ICP is very small, right, compared to this, right? So this is in millions, this is in couple thousand, right? So what he does is he is not targeting every single one, right? So if he start targeting every single one, he is gonna attract broke people who wanna manifest, who are the people who are stuck in a college, the people who are kind of stuck in a job, and they doesn't like fit as a the most profitable client for somebody, right? The most profitable client for Nero is entrepreneurs who are making 15k to 1 million per month, right? So this TAM is basically in thousands, but it's pretty niched, right? So it's basically just targeting the entrepreneurs, right? So instead of going broad, instead of just targeting every single one in this space, he went narrow. He went super narrow, super specific in who he wants to help, right? When you watch his Instagram, he instantly qualifies you with who he helps, and he instantly builds the authority that he has been hired by these pro athletes, 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs, and he knows his stuff, right? And he has also got 300k subs on YouTube in 8 months, so it's authority as well. And the main, like, the format of his bio is basically who he helps, the proof, and the simple link to his YouTube. And his YouTube is the main, like, the main converting mechanism in his like 500k per month revenue. And when you see his highlights, he has mentioned three type of highlights, which is basically his library. So he has mentioned his books that he has read. So it basically kind of builds that um proof that like he has spent like these many hours like reading these books. He has read these many books, so he must know something that we don't, because we haven't read these many books, right? So it kind of gives him an edge, kind of gives him some kind of like um position of authority, right? Then we have his wins. So these are his students who have worked with him, and he just again like posting like the testimonials which his students has given him, which is kind of working as a authority builder and proof builder as well. And then we have his book, which is basically a bestseller. So you see, like, you can know that he has written a book, he is qualified to talk about it, and his book is a bestseller, so it gives him again some authority and proof, right? So this is his highlights, right? And in his post and reels, he is basically posting his lifestyle content, right? So he is just showing the viewer that he is not a Miami coach seller, right? He's not a manifestation coach trying to sell you some scammy product. um then he is also mentioning some proof that, okay, he was at 40 subs, right? And now he has 100k subs. So it's like from 4k to 1K and the silver play button in the middle, right? So it giving him some proof, it giving him some kind of edge that okay, this guy is credible to talk about it. This guy has built a following and he is known for these people. Like, he's got 2.3 million views and he is pretty credible to, talk about manifestation, right? Then we have his reels. So the pinned reel is basically kind of testimonial and kind of like call to action reel, which is basically he starts off with telling this, a story about this guy who, start working with him, his before story, his like after story, and what he did, and how anyone who wanna like, actually achieve these kind of results, they can apply to work with him, right? So hits his like kind of, a quick 60-minute or 60-second case study with a little bit, call to action, right? And then we have his profile, which is basically the like other reels, which is basically clips from YouTube and the calls that he has done, right? So these are the simple, clips that he just repurposed from YouTube and just directly post on Instagram. So people can just, watch some 60-second clip and they can watch the rest of the video on YouTube, right? So this is pretty much for the Instagram. The main aspect, the main takeaway from his positioning is basically being super super specific with who you want to help, right? So he don't help everyone. He only help entrepreneurs who make at least 15K to 1 million per month. So if you try to help everyone, you won't be able to scale your offer. But if you only help a very specific kind of person, you can make you can attract that kind of person with your messaging, right? Now let's talk about his YouTube strategy. And on YouTube he's got 300K subscribers, right? And the way he stands out is pretty much a genius way which you can just plug in inside your offer. So everyone is making, these talking head videos, scammy surface level information, 10-minute videos, and they're targeting everyone, and the videos are pretty generic, the information is pretty generic, and it's just not helping anybody, right? But on the other side, Nero is teaching the first principles based content. His videos are 60-minute plus long. It's only made for entrepreneurs, and he's basically shouting proof in the first 30 seconds of the video. And they are giving the whiteboard style, which is basically the old school style, which is working on YouTube so much. And the one thing that they are doing that nobody's talking about is in the middle of, his YouTube videos, his I don't know if that guy is AJ. So he will read some comments, about the wins of the students, that they leave on the in his YouTube, right? So he would read those comments. And while somebody watching, these 60-minute videos, they are in the back end, they are being basically rewired or reprogrammed about his high ticket offer. So when they are basically telling you that okay, these students have worked with him, these students are winning, these are making money, you are watching these 60-minute videos, but you are being nurtured with these like little minute testimonials as well. So this is the one thing that they do in every single video that I've seen, which is basically genius, right? And his main content buckets are his growth content and his nurture content. And his growth content is basically made for unaware audience, to make the people who are unaware intro to his method. Like he just introduces his method, and his messaging basically address a lot of the desires of the customer, right? And then we have his nurture content, which is basically turning the views into cash. And the videos at this level are basically very pain driven, right? And he's making the broad videos, so it's basically attracting the broad audience, but he's still being in the TAM, right? So these videos are not attracting teenagers, right? It's like these videos are only attracting the people who know something about manifestation, who know something about universe, right? You see the messaging is very like kind of unique, right? He's mentioning universe, manifest, or goal like motivation, outsmart procrastination, or like, how master manifestation think. So anyone who doesn't know about manifestation won't click on these videos, right? So the people who are clicking on these kind of videos are the people who already know something about manifestation, right? And then we have his nurture content, which is pain driven content. These videos are like the two spiritual diseases that the 1% have conquered. So what kind of two spiritual diseases? It just evokes that curiosity in the mind of the viewer, or how to maintain a frequency. So people who do not know about frequency won't click on this video, right? Or the other video, which is basically how I turn failed manifestation into win instantly. So people who don't know about manifestation won't click on this video. Like they know nothing about manifestation. It doesn't make sense to click on these kind of videos, right? And then we have how to make universe unstuck your business. So people who are feeling unstuck, it's pain again, won't click on this video, right? And people who are actually unstuck, who want to actually unstuck themselves in business, they will click on this video, right? So this is how he does that. So he targets the targets the dreams, the desires, with it, like by targeting a very broad market, while still being in the space. So he doesn't attract the teenagers, he doesn't attract the wrong ideal customer. He addresses the desires of the customers to attract new people to his funnel, and then he nurtures them with the pain driven content. So once they know something about manifestation, something about frequency, reality, right, they can start watching the other videos, the which is basically more as a pain driven. They can be nurtured in the, in his mechanism, right, in his funnel, right? And then we have his funnel, which is basically all the traffic from YouTube is going to be sent to two things. The first one is his book, which he has written, and the second one is his VSL funnel, right? So his book is kind of the first step that anyone makes who cannot work with him. And since it's a book, it's not that expensive. It's a first small investment that they make. And what they can do is they can just read the book. They can add, they can just implement, his strategies, his methods themselves, or they can apply with him to work with him, right? And like they have two options, right? They either do it themselves or they apply everything by working with him, right? So most of the people who have the money, they start up working with him. But people who don't have money, they are start, building that kind of that trust on him, so like they can eventually become his customer in the future. And on his funnel, he is basically the main selling point here is this YouTube, right? This YouTube has like 60-minute videos, has already built enough trust that he doesn't need a 10-minute VSL to sell them again on the concept, right? So this is a 2-minute video, which is basically the introduction to his all his method, how they can actually apply that. And then they can basically click on this link, click on this button, and they can just book a call. And he has got a little bit proof that this method has worked for other people and how it can work for them as well. And here are some guys that are basically known in the space, and he is qualifying every single lead based on a criteria, right? Which is very important. So anyone who is below 15K per month is instantly gonna be disqualified, right? And they are gonna be downsold to a mid-ticket offer, right? So this is a super high ticket offer, right? But anyone who has less than 15K per month, they are downsold to a mid-ticket offer, which is basically a 995 offer, and it's a mid ticket, right? So they can buy that and they can start using that and they can eventually become his customer in the future. But if they qualify and if they have the money, then they again are gonna be qualified if they have 50K capital available to invest. So it's a two-step qualification method, right? For the people who are a good kind of clients for him. But the people who are not, it's basically gonna be directly sending them to a 995 mid ticket offer. And once you qualify this or this criteria, you can go to Calendly. You can just book one-on-one with Nero, and you can start working with him. So this is pretty much with the Nero's funnel, and this is exactly how he makes 500K per month. And if you have a high ticket offer and you want to scale your high ticket offer to six figures per month in 2026, just click the first link in the description and schedule a call. God bless.